सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनस्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verses 26 to the end.
Sorry, Janji, I'm ready.
Sorry? Omkar, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I'm ready with 21 to that. You said 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready with 21 onwards.
Can you play from 26?
No, that will take time.
Okay, so we'll do it ourselves. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyuparutam ashnami prayatatmanaha yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam shubha shubha phalairevam mokshase karma bandhanaihi sannyasa yoga yuktatma vimukto mamupaishyasi samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshosti na priyah ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham api chet suduracharaha bhajate mamananyabhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyag vyavasito hi saha क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शान्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य येऽपिस्यो पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रः तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्रह्मणा पुण्याः भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मध्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैत्वम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः. The 30th verse, which we did last time, spoke about how Vedanta has no concept of eternal damnation. It is not that you do something horrible and then you will forever be damned. Because even if you're the world's worst person, you can still correct your actions today and thereby reach a wonderful life. So, does that mean that the concept of eternal damnation is wrong? It doesn't really mean the concept is wrong. It is just a different way of looking at it, because people love to say that, oh, look, in Vedanta it's saying this, but somewhere else it's saying that. Please understand, truth is one and the same. All those who found the truth will find the same thing. So some people have told us there's this eternal damnation, and you do these horrible things and you will go to hell forever and ever and ever, and God will punish you with some really horrible things. It's not that this concept is not there, you know. In Shankara in Bhajagovindam says Naraka Nigudaha. They're trapped like captives in hell. So it's not that the concept is not there or it's not correct. If you look at it from the right angle, our life is created by our actions. Our actions are created by our thoughts. Our thoughts are created by our vasanas. You know that, right? The vasana creates the thought creates the action, and the action creates the result. This is clear, I think, to all Vedanta students. Wait, all Vedanta students here or anyone? Anyone new today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Kartheshwaran.
Oh, Kartheshwaran. Your first time Kartheshwaran?
Yes, ma'am.
First time to this class or first time to any Vedanta or Gita class?
First time this class, already I attended ISKCON.
Okay.
Tamil.
All right. The philosophy is slightly different, so you may get a little confused, but don't worry about it. It's wordings usually which are different, and if you understand,
Okay. Thanks.
It'll be fine. So this is a good place to say there is the concept that you'll go to hell and horrible things will happen to you, or
Yes,
like he
definitely.
says over here, or he says like over here, even if you are the worst, apichet suducharaha. Remember, we did suduchara, acharya, action, behavior. Duracharaha, bad action, bad behavior. Suduracharaha, कितने सुंदर तरह से बुरा kar raha hai. How beautifully is he doing bad action? He is excelling in bad action. So like Ravana, he's really doing bad action very, very well. Means he's an extremely wicked person. That's what it means. So here he says, even if this extremely wicked person worships me, ananya bhak, with no other thought, sadhureva samantavya. Mantavya should be considered. Sadhu eva, you should be considering him a sadhu. That means all of us in this class, no matter how wicked we are and how bad we are and how many stupid things we do, the world will consider us sadhu. Why sadhu? Sadhu means a good person, a wise a noble person, a wise person, a good person. Why do they consider us good? Because we have rightly resolved. Samyak vyavasito hi saha. Because he has rightly resolved. He's on the right track. And once you're on the right track, it's only a question of time. So this is the point he's making over here, that you could be, he's not asking you what you are. You will be the worst human being on the surface of this earth. But the day you decide that I'm going to be on the right track, sadhureva samantavya. Mantavya means should be done. You should be considered that. You should be regarded as a righteous person, as a sadhu. So this seems to be an opposition to the general concept that, you do bad things and then God just throws you into hell and you stay there forever and after. Well, let's remove the God out of it, but let's understand the principle. Our vasanas create thoughts, those thoughts create actions, and the actions create a result. What is the result? Our life. Whatever our life is created by our own actions. Where did these actions come from? They came from our thoughts. Where did these thoughts come from? They came from our vasanas. So when you understand this, you realize the difficulty in changing your actions and your thoughts. Because those vasanas are there, no? So as long as the vasanas are there, they will perforce manifest as those thoughts. Those thoughts will become actions, and those actions will create consequences. These consequences are what we call our life. Now, this is relatively stable in a human being's life. And since you are not going to change your actions, therefore your consequences will stay the same. Therefore is the concept of eternal damnation. So it's not incorrect. As long as those actions, thoughts, vasanas stay the same, you are damned. Damned in the sense, whatever results you're getting, you will continue to get them. It's like you're caught, like a captive in hell. You'll be miserable and you can't change it. So if you wish to change it, then you'll have to do what? Samyak vyavasito saha. Such a person will have to resolve rightly. They'll have to decide that I am going to make my life better. And if you do take that decision, your life will become better. It's only a question of time. The problem is we don't take that decision. We don't say that, yes, I want to make my life better. We spend all our life explaining why my life is so bad because of what other people are doing. We don't take the stance, I am going to make it better. And I'm going to change this thought, or I'm going to change this action, or whatever it is you decided to do. So he says, it doesn't matter where you are, what you deserve, all that is required from us as human beings is that we decide today, right now, to do it right. And if you do decide that, the whole complexion of life changes. When somebody criticizes you, you say, oh my God, how lovely. Maybe he's telling me what I'm doing wrong. I must pay attention and see whether this person is right about it. Then you'll decide either he's right or he's wrong. If he's right, then you'll change according to whatever the person said. And if you decide he's wrong, then wasted my time. Chalo, let me find somebody else to criticize me. You're not anti-criticism. Why would you be? The whole complexion of life changes. You're most willing to listen to anybody telling you what you're doing wrong, because if that person is correct, who stands to benefit? Only us. Because we will change something and our life will change. Isn't that wonderful? But even when people come with their problems and say, I want to, hey, help me, I'm so miserable, they still don't want to know what to do to make it better. I don't want to know that. What they want to do, 90%, 99% of the time, when people have a problem, all they look for is someone to vent to. Let's keep on repeating the problem. Then we feel very nice. Feel very satisfied that we repeated the problem. And you give 50,000 examples to explain the same point. Do you get exhausted when people come and tell you their problems? Because you're like, hey, Baba, either you want a solution or you don't. मेरा क्यों time waste कर रहे हो? नहीं चाहिए, so don't waste my time at least. But people who have a problem, they're really miserable, and the only relief they get is to be able to express it. And so, because that is relief, they go on doing that instead of going to the root, solving the problem, and then you don't have a problem. So he says, as he has said a million times before, please make that decision. I mean, he doesn't say make that decision. He says, you will be considered righteous if you make that decision. Make that decision. Ask the question, what can I do better? Just ask the question, what can I do better? Ask it of yourself first. What in my life could I do better? And if I can execute this much, just a little bit, to the extent I've done it, my life has to become better. What's the complication in that? So simple. So he says, there's no question asked of you about what was your past. No question whatsoever. Question is, today, have you decided to improve yourself, to improve your life? So then somebody will say, oh my God, then the past doesn't matter at all? Of course the past will matter. What you've done, usko to bhugatna hai hi na? So what does that mean, bhugatna hai? Try and remove all moralistic quoting from it and take the example of studies. If a person says, I would like to do my PhD, he's resolved that I want to do my PhD. How long would it take him to do his PhD? If he has come to post-graduation, it'll take him 2 to 5 years. If he has come to he's only a graduate, he will have to add the 2 more years. He's going to go to post-graduation and then apply for PhD, right? If he's never gone to school at all, then he has a long journey ahead of him. So how does the past play in our lives? The past has brought us to a particular point. We have to work from that point. How much time and effort it will take is dependent on the past. So when they say past ko bhugatna hi hai, means your present is where you are. So whatever the consequences of what you have done or not done, you have to deal with. I hope that's clear, because we seem to make some horrible thing ki, oh, you hurt somebody, so somebody will hurt you. Not like that. It's more matter of fact, really. To the extent you have studied already, you've already done the work. To that extent, it's easier to do future work. To the extent you've not done the work, it will become more difficult to do that work. Clear?
Hariom, ma'am.
Yeah, Ganesh.
I have one question. So we speak about wicked. I think it's more to do with actions. Would they have a more harder route to reach the self as compared to people who are on the righteous path, or both are equal, we don't know?
Ganesh, it's very difficult to remove past things. So you're going with your original definition of wicked. Take that word wicked and throw it in the bin. And go back to the example of getting a PhD.
Okay.
How much time and effort will be taken to get the PhD is entirely dependent on how much have you studied till now.
Okay.
So dependent on where you are now, meaning where are you now based on everything you did in the past? So dependent on where you are now, you will have to put in time and effort to reach your destination. How much time will it take to reach your destination? Depends on what you do.
I have one question. We take the example of Ravan. Ravan was a very ambitious, hardworking, and he, from what I know, so he knows the process, right, of becoming a king. So if he gets into the righteous path, would it be easier for him because his effort is very good? Are you getting?
Whatever you're asking this because basic principle is not becoming clear to you. Basic principle is whatever you have done so far, whatever you have learned so far. Okay?
Okay.
That thing you have less to learn in the future. Whatever you haven't learned, you will have more to learn. So he knows how to become a king. So he doesn't need to learn that. He already knows it. He doesn't know how to maintain a kingdom, so he'll have to learn that. You can't maintain a kingdom by behaving the way you do. So whatever you know, you know. Whatever you don't know, you will still have to learn.
Got it. Got it, Ji. But I meant the process. So he knows he's good at one process. If he replicates the same thing in other areas, the process of one is strong, the others can also
Same
be.
thing. Same principle applies. Whatever he knows, he doesn't have to learn. He knows how to do hard work, he doesn't need to learn that.
All right.
Whatever he doesn't know, which means where to direct that hard work, you will have to learn that.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
So principle will stay the same. This is philosophical studies is more about learning the principle. So once you've got the principle correct, then all your questions are obviously answered.
Got it.
Namrata, could you please share the reference you were earlier making to Bhaj Govindam? Something about Narak. What do you mean by reference? The verse number? What is the verse number? Some of the latter verses. Naraka Nigudaha. Do you have Swamiji's translation, Namrata, of Bhaj Govindam? Namrata? What happened? Is she still there or gone? Where are you, Namrata? I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
She has a problem with the audio, Janki.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So just look up the text. There are only 30 verses. Towards the end comes this portion, Naraka Nigudaha. And in English, if you're looking for it, then it is captives in hell. If you want me to actually give you the verse number, oh my God, it's too tough to turn. Somebody give it to you. Bharat, you'll give it to Namrata if she can't find it.
Yes.
Okay, is verse 30 clear? Anybody else has any other problem? So I hope it's clear. What is the principle? Your past plays in your life. Tell me, everybody, your past plays in your life. In what sense?
To the extent of the effort required to change it.
Can't hear you, Kalyan Kumar.
To the extent of the effort required to change it for the future.
Okay, but put it in an easier way. Your past plays in your life to the extent, meaning what you are right now. Your past created this present. So to the extent you have learned something or not learned something, or done something or not done something, whatever you are today, that is how your past plays. What is your future going to be? It is going to be this present along with this present, whatever you are, along with what you are doing right now. Two things are there with you at the moment. Whatever you've done in the past, suppose you have got 3 crores of rupees. Today, your bank account has got 3 crores of rupees, or your corpus fund has got 3 crores of rupees. How do you have 3 crores of rupees? From the past. Whatever you did has landed you up with 3 crores of rupees today. Now, what's going to be your future? Depends on two things: what you have and what you're doing. You can spend all your time spending the money, in which case very soon you'll be at zero. You can spend all your time earning more money, in which case you will be more than 3. So whatever, depending on what you have and what you do, is going to be the future in all things. Okay, is it clear, everybody? So what is wicked? Wicked means something you have not studied at all. You've not understood it only. So abhi kaam karna padega. So they tell it in the story of Valmiki, for instance. Valmiki was a very wicked man. What did he do? He went around killing everybody. And then what happened to him? One day he asked, the sages asked him that you are taking so much pap for what? To which he said, pap means so much agitation. No, you're going to kill human beings and all. How agitated the person must be. So that's okay. Why are you taking so much agitation? Why are you taking so much pap? Why so much stress on your head? For my family. So he said, all this pap that he was. Anuja, you're not muted. All this pap that you're taking, all this stress, all this agitation that you're taking on your head, why are you taking it? For my family, he says. He says, oh, so is your family going to share any of this pap, any of this? So he starts wondering, and then he goes and asks his family, are you going to share my pap? They said, no, Baba, we will share your prosperity. Why on earth will we share your pap? You keep your pap. And that made him think about this thing. I claim I'm doing it for these people, but they will have none of this. So is it even worth it? And from that question, he resolved to make himself a different type of person. And from that murderer, Valmiki, he became the saint Valmiki. So what is it showing us? That resolve must be there. And they dramatize it. Then so he asks, how will I become a better person? So he still say the Ram mantra. Keep saying Ram, Ram, Ram. And his problem was, I can't say Ram. Every time I say Ram, I say Mara, Mara, Mara. So that his teacher told him, never mind, you say Mara, Mara, Mara. And then think, listen to this. Mara, 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 Mara. What will you end up saying? So don't worry about your mistakes. They will become right. Keep saying Mara, it will become wrong. But keep saying it. Don't worry about your mistakes. So this is shown in mythology. In philosophy, you understand the principle. Whatever you do not know, you will have to learn in the future. Okay, suppose I was in my Vedanta Academy years when I was a student, I didn't bother to learn my Sanskrit. I thought it was a time for me to fool around, and we used to fool around. We had a very sweet teacher for Sanskrit, one of those typical, very quiet, soft-spoken teachers who would never chastise you in any way. So we all thought this was very funny, and we used to tease him and have fun with him, and it was just, with Swamiji, you can't do anything like that. So all the youngsters, they can't fool around with Swamiji. So wherever they fool around in Sanskrit class, consequence, till today my Sanskrit is a mess. So now if I want to do Sanskrit, I have to really apply myself. So how does the past play in our life? Whatever you have left undone, you are going to have to do. Because otherwise you can't move, no? And not that you can't move in that field. You may choose to never do it, in which case in that field you will never do it. Like for instance, Aditi may never have studied engineering. Think, Aditi, you haven't studied engineering, right? So she can't move forward in engineering, but she may have studied music. So if she moves forward in music, then she can go much faster. But if she goes and tries to study engineering, then the past will play like a blockage. It'll be difficult for her to do it. Clear?
Yeah, Janki,
Gods are getting.
Janki ji, one question on
Mhm.
your observation that vasanas leads to thoughts, to actions and the world. So there seems to be an inevitability to that sequence.
Yep.
And that's what in parts of the other parts of Bhagavad Gita, whatever little, he says that you are bound to act according to your vasanas, so your Kshatriya nature will come out, etc. But here you seem to say that we have the opportunity to break away also.
Yes. That is the human being's life, no? That's why they say what Manushya Yoni is so great and all this sort of thing. What are they saying it for? What's the what's so great about being Manusha? 99.9 Manushas are worse than the animals. Animals are doing much better than us. They don't have any problem. They don't have marital problems. They don't have financial problems. They don't have stress problems. Nothing. They're doing very well. Then why is Manusha Yoni better? They're very disciplined also, animals. Humans become indulgent, animals never become indulgent. Yeah, except when those animals who live with us, then these also get stressed and indulgent and everything because we influence them. But otherwise, look at the animal life. It's completely disciplined. You go to the forest, you don't see overweight zebras or underweight zebras. The lion will be the size of a lion. The elephant will be the size. All elephants same size. All lions same size. All zebras same size. All hippopotamus also same size. No, I mean they're doing fine. They're living disciplined lives. They are non-stressed. Everything's good about them. Now why is Manushya Yoni such a great thing? Because Manushya Yoni has got one thing that the animals don't have. And that is, no matter what your vasanas are, you still have a capacity to choose differently.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Repeat. That time it struck play.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Kartheshwaran.
Sorry, ma'am. That time your voice is striking. Maybe my network is little bit low bandwidth. Can you repeat once again?
Repeat what?
What you said a little bit.
Okay, so there's one difference between the Manushya Yoni and other yonis. Manushya Yoni is considered so great not because we are doing any better than the animals, because they are doing better than us. They are more disciplined. They are not indulgent. Okay, they do things at the right time. They'll eat at the right time. They'll sleep at the right time. Whatever is their time, they'll do it at that time. No moving around. All owls will follow the same pattern. All zebra will follow the same pattern. Nobody is doing anything different. And then we are better. We have such a mess. We don't know what time to get up. We don't know what time to sleep. We don't know what to eat. We don't know what not to eat. We don't know who to go with, who not to go with. Nothing we know. And we are better. On what grounds? There's only one ground on which the Manushya Yoni is so great. And that greatness lies in the fact that we can choose to be different. It is our greatness and it is our fall. The zebra gets no choice. The lion gets no choice. He can't choose. The lion cannot think with his lioness, sit down and say, darling, do you think we should be vegetarian or non-vegetarian? Such a conversation cannot be held between Mr. and Mrs. Lion. But the human beings, they can do that. You see, human beings, how much they do to be veg or non-veg. If you're non-veg, then which particular non-veg? When you go abroad, are you Muslim non-veg, Hindu non-veg, Parsi veg? You know Parsi veg? Parsi veg is up to fish. You can eat eggs and you can eat fish, and that is vegetarian for Parsis. For Muslims, you can eat all non-veg, but you can't eat a pig. For Hindu non-veg means you can eat all non-veg, but you can't eat beef. Okay, it's complicated. No, I mean, you really have to learn for whom what is acceptable and not. For Jain veg is different from Gujarati veg, which is different obviously from Parsi veg. So much complication. Like, why don't all these human beings get together and decide one thing? No, they can't do that. Some veg is falahari. only fruits. Some veg is everything but no adrak lasun. I mean, all sorts of permutations and combinations. In the veg also there's permutations, combination. In non-veg also there's permutation, combination. Hey Baba, we have to keep remembering ab kiske liye kya theek hai. Difficult, no? Now, in the tigers or lions or what, they all eat the same thing. The zebras also, all of them will eat the same thing. Why? Because they don't get a choice. We get a choice. Now, our choice is, we have choice. Since we have choice, you can take your life up, you can take your life down, do whatever you want with it. So what is the greatness of this Manushya Yoni? Is that you can choose to be different. Clearly, you can do whatever you want. But is this freedom complete? This freedom is not complete. Because whatever you choose today, you're going to be bound by your past. That means that today you may choose to be a marathon runner, but you're bound to your past. Meaning what? In the past, you already become 340 kgs. So you're bound by that. Means your journey to becoming a marathon runner will become now longer. Clear?
Ma'am, just coming back to that observation of inevitability versus capacity to choose, in some parts, Krishna argues and extols Arjuna, saying that you're bound by your vasanas, that is, you have to helplessly act according to them, etc. So sometimes it seems like an argument for of convenience, no?
No. The fact can always be used for convenience. That is true. You can use, this is a human being. They will use any fact for their convenience. You look at Congress giving the facts, and you look at BJP giving the facts, and they will tell us the facts as per their convenience. This is a human ability. When you give a fact and your wife gives a fact, suppose you and your wife have a fight, and then you go to Naim and say, oh, I have a fight with my wife. And Naim says to you, okay, you tell me your side. And the wife says, I will tell my side. And both of you tell your side. Both of you may be giving facts. But which ones? Okay. So that's why they say in a fight, you must listen to both sides. So you can use any fact for your convenience. However, the fact stays the fact. The fact is that you are bound by your past and you have choice in the present. The two facts. They are known technically as prarabdha and purushartha. Prarabdha means your destiny. Destiny means what you are right now. Purushartha means your choice. That means whatever you can choose to do, independent of what you have done already. Most of the time, you will choose to do what you have done in the past. And that means eternal damnation. But if you choose to do differently, which you have a choice to do, then sadhureva samantavya, you will be considered a sadhu. Now you may ask the question, how do you know? How do you know that this is true? If you're going by the scriptures, then you yourself know that in the past he said that you are bound by the past. In this verse, he's specifically saying that you are bound by the past means you're not a very wicked person, you're a terrible person. But you will become sadhu. So he's giving you, that option. I'm not making it up, Kalyan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's saying, Samyak vyavasito hi saha. Saha samyak vyavasitaha. He has well resolved. He has thought this thing through, decided well, and now he will be on a new journey. Just as those people in this class determined to be on that new journey will be on a new journey. Those in this class who just want to know how good they are or want to just justify their actions will continue the same that they had in the past.
Okay, thank you.
One question. And now, current world nowadays, there's so many adharmas is happening. We are seeing in a daily life, but even we are following as the sadhu and a good character in. But how we take it as some others, they will take it as their convenient. If we are in calm or we are going, what is some others telling? Because we are telling so many times, they are not considered that. But after that, we will think that as per their karma, they are going like that. How it is taken as in a children. Now we have a children. For example, I am having two kids. Okay, so they are doing.
Kartheshwaran, could you please write your question in the chat box because your voice is not very clear, and also
Okay.
we try to write them in the chat box so that we can be precise in what the question is. So just write it in the chat box and we will take it up.
Janki ji,
Okay. Yeah, Shanti.
we are ending up hearing about changing the path with the choice we have. But what about people who are on the righteous path falling away from that? For example, Durvasa, we know that he was a righteous man. What explains him falling away from that righteous path?
Firstly, I don't know that Durvasa fell off the righteous path. That's not for us to say. The point is the same, right? You get a choice. You do whatever you want with that choice. You become better, become worse. You do whatever you want.
So every time there is an action, righteous or not, that point you have to make the right choice.
Yes. I mean, right choice means based on the choice you make will be your future.
Thank you.
You are not in any judgment of anyone. Clarify about the karma of kids. The kid means what? Now somebody is born. How is he born? He has some vasanas. So based on the vasanas, he is born in that manner. So whatever his vasanas are, that's what the kid is. That's why you find different kids behaving in different ways. So yeah, they will have their habits. Now based on what you do and what his vasanas are and what his choices are, the combination of these three things will create his future. You may be the world's best parent, but you will not be able to do it beyond a point unless he also chooses that. But if you're a bad parent, then you will make the situation worse. If you're a good parent, you'll make the situation better. That's about the only choice you get. You get no more choice than that. Okay, so let's do verse 31. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shanti nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. Very, very famous verse. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. What a solace to us. Shipram, quickly, bhavati dharmatma, becomes a dharmatma, becomes a righteous person, a good person. Shipram, quickly. Crazy, no? We are struggling here for years and years, and then he says quickly. What quickly? But he says so. We have to take his word for it. Shipram bhavati dharmatma. Quickly will he become a dharmatma. Shashvat shanti nikachati. He will go to Shashvat shanti. What is Shashvat shanti? Realization. He will have eternal ashanti, eternal bliss. Kaunteya pratijanihi. O Kaunteya, O Kunti Putra. Pratijanihi. Janihi. Know this. Pratijanihi. Know this well. What? Name bhakta pranashyati. The promise of the Lord. Name bhakta pranashyate. Nashati, destroyed. Pranashati, badly destroyed. Na me bhakta, my bhakta, na pranashati. My bhakta, my devotee can never be destroyed. This is a promise across all religions. My devotee, whoever follows this religion, whoever does this, will never be destroyed. Not only never here, so two promises he's made to us, that you will quickly become a good person, and secondly, you will never be destroyed. Know this, pratijanihi, know it for sure, be confident about this, that soon you will change and you will never be destroyed. You will attain eternal bliss. You will not be agitated by anything, anytime, anywhere. Now, all these promises he made to us. Okay, very nice, very good. But the problem is, he never makes you a promise without telling you the cause. So what is the cause? Me bhakta. So who are these people who are soon going to reach eternal peace, who are never going to be destroyed? Me bhakta, my devotee. Now you know, what does the term my devotee mean? My devotee means devotee, one who is identified with, is identifying with me. What is me? Me, whenever a prophet uses the first person singular, he means the self,
Self.
the divine self within. So this is the promise that all prophets had made. Follow me, come to me, and I will save you. Meaning, keep your attention on the self. Do not put your attention on the body, mind, and intellect. The body with its actions and perceptions will do its thing. The mind with its emotions will do its thing. The intellect with its discrimination will do its thing. All these are led by Prakriti, also known as vasanas. Based on your vasanas, your body, mind, and intellect will function. Aditi will sing. Shanti will teach. Usha will run her business. Naim, what do you do?
I'm a teacher.
Oh, you're a teacher. So Naim will teach. Everybody will do whatever their vasanas are. But we need not put our full attention on that. Why should we not put our full attention on that? Because that is not our full personality. Right? You have 4 aspects to your personality. Why do you ignore any one of them? You don't hop around on one foot, do you? You use both feet. You've been given 2 feet. You use them both. You close one eye and see. You've got 2 eyes, use them. You block out one ear and use it. When you drive your car, do you drive it on 3 wheels? If you're driving a rickshaw, do you drive it on 2 wheels? Like, why will you not use everything? You have 4 things, use them all in the right proportion. Give the more important things more importance. Give the less important things less important, but use them all. You have them, use it. Isn't it? So you have 4 things. What do you have? You have a body, you have a mind, you have an intellect, you have the self. Which is the most important? The self is the most important. So keep your attention on that. What is the second most important? Your intellect, because your intellect can take you to the self. So develop the intellect. What's the third most important? Your emotions. Your emotions can interrupt the method to the path to the self, or power the path to the self. Take care of it. And your body is the least important. But if your body is not working, how will you make your way? So please make sure your body works as well. You have to take care of your health. And thoda bahut paise ki bhi zarurat hoti hai. But please understand the gradation of it. So he says, if you are my bhakta, Means if you are able to keep your attention on the self, you will be peaceful, you will be good, and you will never be destroyed. 3 promises. That's why it's a very, very famous verse. All students of the Bhagavad Gita must know this verse by heart. I've often told you which are the famous verses, and so please know them by heart, because then if you say, I don't know this verse, never heard of it, then they will say, who's your teacher? So wrecking your teacher's reputation. Then teacher never even taught you this verse. So these are few verses which we all should know. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim. Shashvat shantim you are reading over there because that's a sandhi rule. The word is shashvat shanti. Shanti as in peace. So shashvat shanti, when it becomes a sandhi, it becomes shashvat shanti. Because just easier to say, otherwise it's quite a tongue twister to say. So shashvat shanti nigacchati. It goes to eternal bliss. Kaunteya pratijanihi. It's a firm assertion. This is one of the methods that a teacher uses to teach. A firm assertion. Because sometimes the teacher, students are, oh, is it? I don't know. So what will the teacher say? Of course it is so. It is one of the methods of teaching. A very firm assertion by the teacher gives confidence to the student. And what is this confidence? Name bhakta pranashya. You will not be destroyed. If you are what? You are my bhakta. My bhakta means your attention is on the self. Now, very often in life, we say it's very difficult for me to keep my attention on the self. So you all know that wherever he tells you, put your attention on the self. If you're finding that difficult, then excuse me, then you focus on
Goal or ideal.
any
God.
higher ideal. Very good. Then you focus on your higher ideal. So if you keep your attention on the higher ideal, what happens? You will become a good person. What does a good person mean? You will know when you become a focused person, you will become a good person. Nowadays we think I'm a good person. Why am I a good person? I go to the temple, I go to the church, I go to the mosque. I'm a good person. I do all my Navratri fasts and I do whatever. My Lent and I do my what is it called? Whatever.
Namaz.
Not namaz. What is the month called?
Ramadan.
Ramadan. Yeah, that's why I'm a good person. Bhagwan, these prophets are all going mad with us. They say, ये पागल लोगों को सबको मिलकर सबको पीटना चाहिए. What is a good person? That you are able to work in the welfare of all. Able to do this. Are you able to expand your mind beyond your body, mind, intellect? Basically, it boils down to that. Can I consider anyone other than myself? And how much can I consider? If you're grossly selfish, you can only consider your own body, mind, intellect. But as you grow, you start being concerned about 2, 3, 4 more people. I am concerned, usually children. I'm concerned about my child. But even that can be entirely selfish because I'm concerned about my child and I stifle him to death because I want to make him what I want him to be. That means you're not concerned about the child, you're concerned about yourself. So as the mind expands, you start being concerned about more than yourself. You're concerned genuinely about the well-being of others. You're concerned about the well-being of your community, maybe your nation, of maybe humanity, of maybe all living creatures, maybe of the planet. You're concerned of higher things in life, such as classical music or whatever, anything that you like. The great musicians, they can only see the music. They can't see anything else. You know those movies like Beju Baura and I don't know what somewhere it says. Man Tadapat Hari Darshan or whatever. You know that movie, right? Where just can see music, can't see anything else. During the freedom movement, you know, those freedom fighters could see only freedom, they could see nothing else. So people who work like that, those are the good people. Not people who are following some mechanical rituals. So he says, Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma. You will be a Dharmatma because you're working for something higher in life. Isn't that what happened? That happened to Gandhi, that happened to Mother Teresa, that happened to everybody who chose to work for something beyond themselves. It could be dedication to a sport, it could be dedication to music, but it's beyond themselves. They're more concerned with that than themselves. So such people are Dharmatmas. We even accept J.R.D. Tata, right, as a Dharmatma. We all accept him as a Dharmatma because his business was more to him than himself. And all the virtues come to you when you do that. That is goodness. You don't get virtues, pluck them from this tree and that tree. You just work for something higher in life, and around you people will say, oh, this person is very patient, or this person is very loving, or this person is very dedicated. They will add all these names to you, but actually there's only one thing, that you saw something bigger and greater than yourself. That's all there is to it. Joan of Arc, what was it? What did she do so great? She just thought her country should be protected. That's all. Dharmatma. Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Because you have conceived and are working for something higher in life. Shashvat Shanti Nikachat. Such a person is eternally blissful. Don't you see that on the faces of anyone who works for a cause? You think of Mother Teresa as a very agitated person, or Gandhi as a very agitated person, or whoever worked for anything. Even the great musicians, the great sportsmen, they all show the same attributes when they do that, when they put their sport, their music, their art, whatever it is, beyond themselves, above themselves. Then, O Kaunteya Pratijanihi, know for sure, na me bhakta pranashyati. My bhakta, a person who does this, will never be destroyed. Are they destroyed? We're talking about them today. Are they destroyed? The British could kill Joan of Arc, but we forgot the name of the person who did it. We remember Joan of Arc. How will they be destroyed? They cannot be destroyed. We will remember them, we will worship them, we will be inspired by them, and we will make our lives better because of them. Even what is that? Maji, whatever his name was. He made a hole through the mountain. Do we not appreciate that? The hole through the mountain. So, you see, if you have that higher vision in life, all these three things will be added to you. That's what he's saying. Know it for certain that you get that higher ideal in life. You will soon become a Dharmatma, you'll become a noble person, you will be a peaceful person, and you will never be destroyed. Nobody will have the power to destroy you. Okay, so what is Jyoti saying? What about people who make a decision to change but are unable to stick to it because of their vasana is so strong? This is our story, Jyoti. Every one of us is in this position. We all have very strong vasanas because we collected them in the past. We all want to do something better. That is our decision today. The past will pull us down. We decide again and again, no matter how much we fall, no matter how much we fail, that we will do it. Remember, your vasana has been created by you. It has not been gifted to you by anyone. You created it with your thoughts, and you will remove it with your thoughts. That's why in Vedanta, you must have often heard this. In Vedanta, we fall like a rubber ball, not like a lead plate. We will fall. It's par for the course. Of course we will fall. If we never fall, we'll be self-realized people. We will fall. Please understand this. It's the nature of the beast. If you have taken on a journey of self-development in any field, you will often fall. You will often fail. The thing about it is, every time you fall, every time you fail, will you get up and walk again? Because if you get up and walk again, you will reach your goal. If you don't get up and walk again, well, you stay where you are. It's that simple. It's all just common sense. Yes, you will not be able to stick to it. I will not be able to stick to it. None of us will be able to stick to it, but we struggle forth. We just struggle forth. And that's for everything. If you have back trouble, then some days you will have done your stuff and your back is probably good. And some days you may do exactly the same thing and your back is a mess. Still painful. So what can you do? It's par for the course. The doctors will explain to you that when something is nerve related, then it is erratic because it's the nature of the nerve. You feel it's getting better, but suddenly you've gone back to square one. So, but the thing is that no matter how bad the pain gets, the frequency of the pain has to reduce. And also the amount of pain will reduce. And over a period of time, how long time? Nobody knows. Over a period of time, it'll come back to normal. Exactly the same thing that happens on the spiritual path. Same thing. We fall, we fail, we say, oh no, I'm doing the same thing again. Well, the nerve is acting up. But you'll be doing it less frequently and less of it. Okay, Jyoti.
Thank you.
All right. Hari Om.